Welcome everybody to lesson 3 of Getting Help from Spirit. And lesson 3 is titled Say a Little Prayer. And so today we're going to be talking about the effectiveness of saying prayers and the way that I feel that you should go about saying prayers is that you should be really open and honest when you're in prayer time, and I find that the words you use are really key. Okay, they're critical here because when you're asking help for spirit through prayer, the guidance that I've received from the masters is that you should try to avoid negative statements. For example, dear God or dear Spirit. I generally open up with dear God, but dear Source, dear Spirit, dear Universe, whatever works for you. For example, saying something like, dear God, I'm really struggling. I'm having a hard time. I am feeling defeated, and things like that. The reason for avoiding such statements is because anything that you prefix with I am, you're actually declaring. Okay, so through decrees, if you remember the decrees that we did in lessons 1 and 2, the I am statement is you declaring that you are that. So if you're saying through your prayer time, I am struggling, or I'm struggling, I'm having a hard time, I'm feeling lost, or I'm defeated, then unknowingly you're declaring that through your prayer. Okay, so the way to go about that, I find, and how I've been guided to do that, would be to switch your words around a little bit. So here's another example then. Dear God, there are a lot of feelings there that would make me feel like I'm defeated. Or, dear God, I feel lost, not I am lost. Or, dear God, I feel like there's all this anger here and I don't know what to do about it. Instead of saying, dear God, I'm angry. Can you see the difference? It might feel as genuine, I suppose, when you first start doing it, because you're so used to just saying, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm lost. But if you can work on reprogramming yourself a little bit to change your words, then immediately you're taking away the momentum of those I am statements, and you're not declaring yourself to be angry, and you're not declaring yourself to be lost and defeated. You're simply opening up and sharing with the Creator that there are these feelings there that you would like help with. So one of the ones I've been working with at the moment is this sense of, say, achieving or achievement. So rather than say, dear God, I'm not achieving anything, or I'm not achieving what I want to achieve, which is like a negative statement, I could say, dear God, I'm finding myself in a struggle. I'm finding that I don't feel like I am achieving anything. I would really like some help on that. If you could please give me some guidance, if you could please bring me a sign, or even bring a conversation into my life that might help me. It would be really nice to talk to someone about this feeling, to really dive into it and get a better understanding of why it is that it comes up for me and what I might be able to do to change. Thank you. Amen. However you normally close your prayers, that's fine. And so you can see with that prayer there, I expressed the feelings that I was going through. I asked for help. I asked for guidance. I asked for a sign. I asked for a person or a conversation to come into my life to help me. And so if you can use your words in more of a constructive way, then you're not overshadowing your prayer with a lower vibration or with negativity. Yeah. And for me, that's really been the key in a lot of my prayer time. And there are moments, where I've been in such a stupor that I've entered into prayer angry, say, or super frustrated, and I've gone in, saying that I'm angry and I want this anger, I want this fucking anger to be removed, and I want it gone now. Like, I'm not saying that we are here having a human a human experience. So, it's not about being perfect every time, but if you are conscious of the words you're using when you pray, then you're, in a way, allowing Spirit to expedite that help through your prayer, because Spirit doesn't have to work its way through the negative statements that you're declaring that you are, that I am, in order to get you the help that you need. When to do prayer time? Well, for myself, I go through periods. Some weeks I pray every day. Some weeks I might only pray once, or some weeks I might not pray at all. It really depends on what's going on in my life and where I am in my self-reflecting and in my processes, how good I feel. I don't tend to pray a lot when things are going well, although I do my best to give gratitude in those moments, which is a form of prayer. And we'll talk a bit more about gratitude in one of the other lessons coming up, in the Thank You, Bring Me More lesson. But if you can start to get into somewhat of a regular pattern, even if it's to start with just once a week, if through that week you write down on a notepad in your journal the things that you would like help with, and have a think about how you can phrase what you're asking for in a positive way by simply expressing to Source, to God, to the universe, what the feelings are that you would like help with through prayer, instead of identifying as those feelings. I guess that's probably a better way to say it. Don't identify with the feeling, but certainly be open and honest and transparent that those feelings are there with you. And I find for me that with prayer time, the change can be quite quick. Sometimes it can even be instantaneous. It can certainly lift my spirits. And I think the reason for that is, on the one hand, you're praying to God and you're asking for help from God, but on the other hand, you're actually being really honest and open with yourself, and in a lot of cases, to shift energy or to shift a blockage or to clear something out will require you to be really honest and really genuine with yourself. I don't find that I pray for things like money or material things. Not to say that you shouldn't. I just personally don't find myself doing that quite a lot. But if you're finding that a particular lack in your life you feel is attributing to the negative feelings that you're feeling, then by all means put a request in for some assistance. you know, for material things, for the things that you feel that you could do or that you could have more of, you know. And so going back to being really genuine and really honest, the more that you can do that with yourself, even out of prayer time, with yourself and with others, you'll find that the doors will open for you, for the help to come through. Because as I've been told and as I've witnessed myself, when I'm not being honest with myself and when I'm not being honest with my guides and with the masters and with my team in spirit, then a lot of the times they just stand there and look at me and they'll ask me, is that really what you're feeling? You know, is that really what you're feeling? Quite often they do that. And so the more practice that you can get into with being open and honest and vulnerable, you know, in a way, this is you coming back to your innocence, cultivating that vulnerability within you. You know, I really don't like this situation. You know, I don't really know what to do. I don't have the answer. I don't have all the answers. You know, I can see it playing out, God, in my life, but you know, everything that I've tried just simply isn't working. And I'm genuinely tired of trying to fix this, or I'm genuinely, you know, over this particular thing recurring in my life, and I really would love some help. You know, that's a genuine ask. That's a genuine and honest ask. So I encourage you all to pray. As I said, start with maybe one prayer time a week. The masters do say that if you pick the same time to do a certain activity, that you build a particular momentum around that ritual, say, let's call it. And so, you know, if you were to do it once a week, pick a day and pick a time, you know. Let's just say it's Saturday morning. You know, every Saturday morning when you get up, allocate 10, 20, 30 minutes to really just dig deep and self-reflect on the areas that have come up over that past week from the previous Saturday that you've noticed that you would really like to pray to God to get help with. And do that, you know. And, you know, as you can see on the smile on my face, I adore prayer time. Prayer time for me is really me being honest with myself, you know, for we are God. And in a way, we're praying to ourselves. We're praying to our I am presence. We're praying to the God within, to the Christ within, you know. And so that, you know, 10, 20, 30 minutes every week is actually you spending quality time with yourself, being honest with yourself about the things that are not exactly going your way, so to speak. And, you know, you're starting to create a positive momentum by asking through prayer for help from Spirit for whatever it is that is ailing you. Okay. That'll do for this one, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Bye.